Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allison. Today's video is going to be different from all my videos because I'm filming my very first Q&A here on my YouTube channel. I feel like it is about time that I filmed one of these because I've had my channel for quite some time now and I've never really done like a sit down official Q&A. I just hit 2 really big milestones on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram. I hit 3K followers on Instagram and 700 subs on YouTube, which is insane to me. Like, I know that's, to some people that might not be a lot, but to me, like, I don't know, I think it's crazy. I think it's so crazy that many of you follow me and that I have made so many connections here. I feel like I've made so many new friends. Just being able to connect with people that have the same interests as me is so cool to me. It makes me so happy, and I had a really good response on my last vlog that I uploaded. I did a more like really raw day in my life and I talked a little bit more about myself and you guys seem to really like that. So I figured I would just do a Q&A and we can just talk and chat and you can get to know me a little better. So I put up a poll on my Instagram and I got a lot of good questions there, and also I got a few comments on my last vlog. So I just put all the questions together and I'm just gonna answer all of them. I put them into different categories because there was a lot of like similar based questions, a lot of questions about my professional career as a school counselor. So I'm gonna answer a lot of questions around that. I got a lot of social media related questions, a lot of fashion questions, and then just some like lifestyle and like fun questions as well. I'm gonna start with the school counseling questions. So if you don't know, I work a regular like 8 to 5 job. I am a school counselor at an elementary school. It's a K to 5 charter school in the inner city of Boston and I love it. So just giving some background because I feel like I don't talk about it a lot. I don't think a lot of people know that I do that outside of social media. This is one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. So it's definitely a job that I would recommend to people. So the first question is, how did you know you wanted to be a counselor? I got a lot of questions like that. Like, how did I get into working as a school counselor? What degree do you need? Do you need a master's degree? Do you like it? How I knew, basically, I never really cared about school. Like, that sounds so bad, but I never had like a passion. I never knew what I wanted to be. All my life, I worked with kids at like daycare, summer camps. Like, I'm obsessed with kids and I always knew I wanted to work with kids in some capacity. I wanted to be in some sort of helping profession, and I've always been extremely passionate about mental health. So I knew those things about myself. I got my degree in psychology, and then I kind of realized, like, what am I doing with this? Any psychology degree, you really have to go into either like a doctorate program or get a master's degree to make a career out of it. And again, like, I was always a good student. I always got like A's and B's, always had good grades, but I feel like I'm not very book smart. I never imagined going to grad school for myself. So the fact that I got my master's degree at 24 years old, like, when I think about that and I think about like my younger self, like, I get like emotional. I feel like my younger self would be so proud, like, if they could like see what I was doing now. Like, some people aren't fortunate enough to even go to college, so that should be like a huge accomplishment, but I just never saw it that way. But when I graduated with my master's degree at 24 years old, like that, like, I went straight through undergrad, stayed at UConn. I went to school at UConn and I stayed another 2 years for my master's program and just like did it right away. Literally started a dream job for myself right out of college, and I feel so fortunate and so lucky for that. A little bit more details about the school counseling program. So I didn't even really know what school counseling was. Like I said, I was doing psychology in undergrad. I'm an empath. I'm naturally so empathetic, and I knew that was like a good quality. Not everyone has that innate quality, so I knew I wanted to do something with that. I had heard about the school counseling program at UConn. I had a couple friends that went through it who are a little older than me, and I was like, wait, this is perfect for me. Like, seriously perfect. So yes, you do need a master's degree to become a school counselor. Colleges do have school counseling specific programs. My master's is in psychology, but I am licensed as a school counselor. So once I was able to get my master's degree, I just had to submit paperwork. I had to pass like a test at the end of my counseling program. I had to take the praxis exam, and I was able to submit the paperwork to become a licensed school counselor. Do not let that steer you away from the career, because like I said, I never imagined grad school for myself. I never thought I was smart enough. I never thought I could do it. I graduated with a 4.0 because I was like, you know what? This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. I put all my time and energy into it and it paid off, and you can do it too. I do love being a counselor. I'm not gonna lie, it's the most exhausting thing I've ever done. It gets to you mentally. I feel like anyone that's in a helping profession like that, nurses, like it gets to you, it wears on you, it's crazy, but the outcome is it's so rewarding. The relationships I have with my students, the fact that I'm able to be at the school and teaching things that kids needed all their lives, like gratitude, positive affirmations, mindfulness, I do all of that. And also like I work in a very impoverished area. Like I said, it's in the inner city. I'm helping families with like homelessness needs. I'm helping kids that literally come to school hungry. What school counselors do is so amazing. We are so underappreciated. Any type of educator is so underappreciated. And like going into the field, you kind of have to know that like you're not going to be validated for what you do. Even at the school, like you're not going to get praise from anyone. You're not like, people don't understand your role. They don't understand the hard work. So I was like constantly told that in grad school. My professors were like, are you sure you want to do this? Like you have to advocate for yourself. You have to be there for yourself because no one's going to validate you, and it sucks. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's so rewarding. Like you know your worth. And it's kind of the same with social media. Like you're going through this, you know, all the time and work and effort that it takes, and no one really understands it, but you kind of have to be okay with that. So I feel like I'm really good in that sense with both of these different careers that I'm doing. So there's not really like a typical day in the life of a counselor, but I do individual counseling with students. I do group counseling, like lunch groups. I do whole classroom social emotional lessons where I go in and I teach these concepts about like empathy, kindness, relationship building, bullying. Like I teach all of that. When it was mental health awareness month in May, I did a whole unit on like what is mental health and how can you promote positive mental health around you, and like just being able to teach that every day, something that I'm passionate about in real life. Like it's just really cool. Someone said, do you think counseling would be your career long-term, or do you plan to switch full-time to social media? Like with social media, you can't really make that decision like, oh, I'm gonna do it full-time. I kind of feel like starting out, you have to see how it goes. And like, obviously I can't control like how much money I make out of it yet, or like my audience or like my following. I'm still like pretty small as like a micro influencer. So at this point, yeah, I'm making like some fun money from it, but it would not be enough at this point for me to quit my job. I also feel like I wouldn't want to do this full time, and I like never say never to anything. Like I have no idea what's gonna happen. Like I'm on this kind of like weird journey right now, but right now for me, I see it more as like a side hustle, like something that I love doing, that's a hobby that I'm also able to make money off of. That's kind of how I look at it, as like a side thing. It really is such a creative outlet to me, and I'm really more focused on my content and like being proud of this like creative outlet that I've built, rather than focusing on like growing and trying to make it a full-time career. Like I don't know, as of right now, that's not a goal for me. Like, not to discredit influencers in any way, like it is a full-time career. It is hard work, like 100%. I just feel like it is very superficial work, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, you're helping people and you're like showing the latest trends or whatever your focus might be. Like, yeah, you are influencing the world, but it really is just so superficial in my mind. Hi, I'm editing, and I just wanted to say this because I feel like what I was saying came off wrong. I don't want people to take it the wrong way. I don't think anyone doing this full time or influencers are superficial in any way. I think social media in general, as what it is superficial, if that makes sense. So if you're like doing this full time, I think you're amazing. Like, so please don't take that the wrong way. And like school counseling and having that as my real career, that really grounds me to real life. And it's like I'm working with like homeless families and homeless kids, and like it really puts life into perspective, and you're like, wow, like I am so privileged to just be able to like live and have a house and have money. I feel like I would just get really wrapped up in this really bad mindset if I did social media full time. Like I really just like it as like a side thing right now. Someone said, what's your dream job? And this sounds really like cliche, but I feel like I'm living my dream job. Like I'm doing what I went to school for. One of my passions of like mental health, like if I had to work any 9-to-5 job, it would be this. Like I could never see myself in like the corporate world in sales or anything like that. Like what I'm doing right now for my 9-to-5 is my dream job. Outside of my 9-to-5, I would always love to, you know, create my own brand, create my own business. And I'm starting to do that with social media. I put myself out there. I had the courage to like start a YouTube channel, to start posting seriously on Instagram, which a lot of people don't have that courage. So to me, I feel like I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it, and I literally feel so grateful and so thankful that I just did it. I feel like when I started doing this, no one was doing it. No one I knew was doing this. And now I see so many more people, like friends and people I know, putting themselves out there because I was the one to do it first. Like I feel like I kind of like paved the way as far as like people that I surround myself with. And I don't know, it's just cool to be like, I didn't care at all what people thought of me and I just did it. I think maybe like dream would be to have my own clothing brand. I mean, that is so like, that's like a very like far-fetched dream, but I truly believe like you can do whatever you set your mind to. Like nothing is unattainable. It's really all about how much work you're willing to put in and like how bad you want it. I'm so proud of myself for like already doing that in my life. How are you managing now that school is back? I'm exhausted. Girl, same, exhausted. I work full-time because it's kind of confusing, but I have 2 different roles. So I'm the school counselor at my school, but I also work for the student support model at a college that I'm expected to implement at my school. So I have 2 roles. I work summers. So I've been back, baby, but the kids came back the first week this week, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna have time to create my content like I was doing before. It's such a long day. I get home at like 5, and really like I dedicate my weekends to creating my content, creating my YouTube videos, editing my videos. Weekends I do all my brand sponsorships and collaborations. So I don't know, I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. Social media related questions. So like I said, I'm still small. Take everything I say like this is what works for me. Everyone's on a different journey. Everyone like has different goals and a different mindset on it, but this is just my life and what works for me. So just keep that in mind. We'll start with the first question. What made you want to start YouTube? So I love this question. I feel like I've never really talked about this, but I started my YouTube channel during like the first wave of quarantine, really not expecting anything out of it. I had no goals in mind to work with brands or anything like that. I had no goals in mind to even like try to gain a following of any sort. Like I have always loved creating videos. I love editing. Like this is such an unpopular opinion amongst YouTubers, but I love the editing process. It's so fun to me. Like obviously if you're like stressed and have to get a video up, it's like not fun. But if you're just like taking your time and like I love editing my travel vlogs. It's my favorite thing, looking back on those memories and just like getting that creative side of how you want it to look. Originally started as a couples channel with my boyfriend because honestly, I just wanted the memories. I was like, we do so many cool things and we don't have any of this documented. Like we have so many vacations that we did. We went to Coachella, like even getting Otto, our dog, together. It's like, I want to look back on those memories. It's like a little diary. And I grew up constantly in the camera being recorded by my mom. I feel so lucky that I have all these home videos of myself as a kid. My mom would literally record me and my sister growing up every single day. And like those memories are so special to me. Anytime I go visit my parents, like we watch the videos. So cool that I'm gonna have all of this documented when I'm in my 20s, and when I'm like 40, I can look back and literally see these videos of my life and be like, wow, like I did that, I looked like that. Like this, it's a video diary. Like it's so cool. So that's why I started it. I was like, I didn't even share it. If you're starting your social media career because you want followers, like it's not gonna work out for you. I'm sorry. That's just, you have to do this because you like it and you want to do it. Like that's like, it's so inauthentic. I feel like I can like tell when someone's doing it because like they want money or they want to get paid or they want to like work with brands. I can tell it's just not in them naturally. And for me, it's just always been like a fun creative outlet. So I would just keep that in mind if you're trying to start a channel. Like make sure it's authentic to you. It's something you actually want to do. Same with Instagram. Like just make sure you're posting things that are true to yourself and not because you feel like you have to follow trends or do what everyone else is doing. I really like this one. How did you decide your aesthetic? I'm glad like people think I have a go-to aesthetic, I guess, because I feel like I really don't. I feel like my content's all over the place, but that's what I like. Use my language, but I feel like there's so many basic bitches on this app. Like be different, like be unique, be cool, like post things. I think cool is like posting things that are true to you and true to yourself and like different than the norm. I don't really feel like I have an aesthetic. Like I just kind of post whatever I want and it always kind of like works out. So I definitely like put effort into planning my feed and making everything cohesive. But at the end of the day, I love that artistic level of an aesthetic. And what I mean by that is like not having an aesthetic, but still keeping everything like cohesive looking. So for example, I guess this is kind of how I picked mine. Fashion, lifestyle, content creator is how I would classify myself. Add your aesthetic based on things you actually do in real life, what you actually wear in real life, what you're gonna be posting a lot of. So for me, I have a very like street style, tomboyish, I would say. Depends a lot on like where you live too. So I live in Boston and I feel like all of my pictures are very like city-like. So I'll take pictures of like buildings, like industrial looking things. I have like more of like a little moody vibe. So I think it just depends on like what's natural to you and like where you are and what you're going to be taking pictures of. Just stay true to yourself. I feel like I don't have myself narrowed down to one style. I wear whatever the heck I want and I don't care if it kind of goes with my overall vibe. Like one day I'll be more girly, one day I'll be more tomboy, one day I'll be wearing sweatpants, maybe another day I'm wearing like a long dress. Like I really have no limits when it comes to that, and I think it keeps it interesting as well. How do you plan your IG posts? I only plan my posts like I would say maybe like a couple posts ahead, maybe like 3 posts ahead. Otherwise I would go absolutely crazy. So really I think the first step, now that I'm like really consistently working with brands, is I base everything off of the collaboration I'm doing. So for example, I just had a collaboration with Zaful and I was required to post 3 Instagram in-feed photos of the clothes. I had to post 1 a week. So I knew, okay, I was gonna do a full body outfit pic with Zaful. That was gonna be the first post. Then I like to break up my posts with filler posts, like for sure. And not just like aimless filler posts. Like I don't like just like, oh, I'm gonna go on Pinterest and find a picture and post it. I don't like that at all. I like my content to be completely 100% my own photos. I never post just like filler posts to post filler posts. I post like photo dumps of like actual pictures I've created myself and I've taken. I love photo dumps and I love like an artsy Instagram, and I think photo dumps are so artsy to have like a full body outfit pic and then like a photo dump and then maybe like a closer up detail shot of my outfit and then like something like completely random like a nail pic. I don't like too many pictures of myself all at once, so I really try to break them up. And I knew the second week I was gonna have to do another Zaful outfit pic, so I was like, okay, that's my outfit pic for the week. So I really try to post maybe like 2 to 3 in-feed posts a week on my Instagram just to be consistent and just to like keep it up. I feel like consistency is key, and that doesn't mean you have to be posting every single day. I think consistent can be whatever is consistent for you and whatever you're gonna be able to manage. So for me, I would go absolutely crazy if I was posting every single day. I always want to post and be proud of what I'm posting. So if that means I have to wait to post, then I have to wait to post. I'd rather than pushing out content. And like I said, I like to have a more artsy vibe rather than something that's like commercial. I like photo dumps rather than doing like a fashion reel or something like that I can see being more like commercial. Tips on growing your Insta. Like I said, that's really not one of my goals as far as social media. Like I really do just use it as a creative outlet, and now I like working with brands and making like some money off of it, but I'm really not trying to grow like a huge audience. I feel like I'm not someone who likes being like in the limelight like that. I wouldn't want like thousands of people following me and like watching my every move. I think I would like freak out. Consistency is key for sure. Like if you're posting once a week, it's not going to be enough. Like if you're really trying to grow, like they say now you have to be posting like once a day, like 1 reel a day, 10 stories a day. Like it's actually crazy, but there's so many good tips and stuff like that on TikTok and stuff. If you're like serious, like you want to get to 10K in 2 months, I would look up some of those videos because they're like really crazy about it. I like the pace I'm at, like I'm growing like slowly. Like I post consistently, so I'm definitely gaining an audience as I'm posting, but I'm really not trying to do it quickly because like I said, I really care more about like my pride in what my content actually is. Like also engaging with your audience and networking and like making friends. Like I don't do this anymore, but I used to go on Clubhouse and like meet girls on Clubhouse. I've met so many girls on Instagram. I've met so many girls on YouTube. Like there's so many cool people out there and everyone's so nice, and I love the community so much. So really just putting yourself out there, meeting people. I'm starting to meet people in real life now that I've met online, and it's just so cool to me. Like it's one of my favorite parts about doing this. It's a lot of questions about like managing social media, balance working 9 to 5, keeping up with social media, tips for work-life balance. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. Like I feel like I'm so in over my head like a lot of the time. Like I said, what I'm doing right now for social media, this is a full-time career. The fact that I'm working like 2 real jobs right now is so stressful. I feel like I don't sleep. There'll be nights where I'll literally be editing my YouTube videos till like 1 a.m. I just need to get the video up and there's no time in the day to edit. I don't think until you're like actually doing this, I don't think people realize how much work it is. Like I'm not just like posting a video. Roughly, I'd say it takes me like 2 hours to film a YouTube video, maybe like 5 hours to edit it. Then uploading it is always a process. It takes so long. Then you gotta pick relevant hashtags. Instagram, like I said, I'm such a perfectionist. You gotta really like plan plan everything. You gotta plan the location, you gotta plan your outfit, you gotta put your makeup on, you gotta drive there, you have to take like hundreds of pics till you get the right shot, you gotta come back, you gotta then like fit it how you want into your feed, which is another huge thing. And then again, relevant hashtags, doing engagement, like it's so crazy that I dedicate completely my weekends to it. And sometimes that means I can't hang out with my friends or I gotta say no to plans. But I mean, is it worth it to you? Do you want it bad enough? Those are the things you gotta be willing to do. Getting into a routine, making sure you're prioritizing yourself and your mental health. Like if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a break from social media. It's okay to take breaks. Like yes, you wanna be consistent, but also like you can't expect to be your best self if you're burned out. And I need to take my own advice on this because I don't take breaks and I get really stressed. So that's something I'm working on. I'm such like a list person, a planning person. I'm always using a planner. I take time on Sundays to really map out what my week is gonna look like, list every day of things I need to get done to check off. And also like I said, I'll have pre-planned ideas for things I wanna film for YouTube, things I wanna film or things I wanna post for Instagram. I'm trying to post a little more consistently on TikTok. So again, I'll post out all my ideas, all my collaborations I have to get done for that week. And you gotta stay organized, you gotta stay on top of it or else you feel like you're gonna lose your mind. So definitely pre-planning helps. Someone asked, what do you do when you're in a creative rut? So I really like this question. It happens to me quite often. I just feel so uninspired sometimes. I'm like, I don't even know what I wanna take pictures of. I don't have any clothes that are like inspiring me that I wanna create outfits with. It does happen, and like, don't get down on yourself. It happens to everyone. Like that's so normal. I think for me, switching up my location is huge. So if you are privileged enough to like go on a vacation or even just like a road trip somewhere, that always helps. Like I remember I was feeling so down about being in Boston. Sometimes I feel really uninspired living here. I've lived here for 3 years now and I just feel like Boston, the city of Boston, I love it, but it's not really like my vibe. I'm more of like a New York, LA person, and I feel most inspired when I'm in those cities. So living in Boston has been kind of difficult for me. So say you can't go on vacation, even just trying to switch up things that you do in your everyday life. Go to a park and walk around a park you haven't been to. Go to a new coffee shop. Change up your routine. I feel like I'm feeling uninspired when I'm doing the same things over and over again and I'm like in my comfort zone. Like put yourself out there, walk around somewhere new, look for new things. And I just feel like there's beauty to find anywhere you look, and you just kind of gotta have that like creative eye, like see things in a different light. So switching it up in that way, and also taking breaks. Like if you are overwhelmed, you're in a creative rut, you're like, nothing, I don't like anything I'm posting, I don't feel inspired about anything, it's okay to take a break and like kind of give your mind that reset that it needs, because I feel like being in a creative rut, that kind of means like you're burned out. So now let's go into like the fashion related questions. Where do you get your fashion inspiration? So I take this as like what platforms do I use to get my fashion inspiration? My number one is Visco. Visco is so underrated. I follow so many cool like mood board aesthetic accounts on there, and they're like so my vibe, like street style, artsy. Visco's so artsy, and I feel like Pinterest can be very like basic bitch and just kind of like, I like Pinterest, like don't get me wrong, I go in there a lot too and I get inspiration from there, but I feel like it kind of takes a while for Pinterest to like curate your like feed for you. I screenshot everything. If I ever see like a picture that I really like, I'll screenshot it. If it's on Instagram, I save it. What are your fashion inspirations? Dude, I can't even like begin to like talk about this. I have so many people that I look up to, that I model my sense of style about, that I think are like so cool. People I've found on like Instagram. My big thing is I love finding people who are like so underrated, like people that don't have that big of a following, bloggers that I found that I like look and like no one else is following them and I'm like, oh my god, this girl is so cool, why has no one discovered her yet? That's like my favorite thing. I like finding unique people. I never get inspiration from people who have like millions of followers or like even like 500K. Big time celebrity wise, obviously Hailey Bieber, like street style queen. Like if you're into street style, obviously you kind of have to look up to her, like she's the best. Bella Hadid, I'm obsessed with Bella Hadid. Again, so basic, but Bella's just so cool. Like she just has that cool, unique, high-end fashion style. Kim Dong, I think that's how you say her last name. Kim Dong, she's from Germany. She's literally the coolest girl ever in the world. Like she's like, actually, I think I like her more than Hailey Bieber. She's like my icon. As far as like big bloggers, I do like Delaney Childs just because I like her like positivity. I feel like she's really well spoken. She's like really educated. Lainey and Clayton, together as like a couple. I get a lot of inspiration from, because I feel like my boyfriend is really similar to Clayton, and I'm like similar to Delaney in her sense of style. Like I feel like she's really colorful and funky and doesn't really have like one true aesthetic. I feel like she experiments with a lot, so I kind of like relate with that. Let's see, who else? Okay, my all-time favorite blogger is Natalie Lorenzo. Like she's everything to me. She's not too big, like she has like 70K I think, but hers, like if my feed could look like anyone's in the world, it would be hers. I think she's so cool. I think she's, again, has that unique artsy vibe that I'm like trying to go for with my feed. And she's also like such a sweetheart. Like she's so nice, and she's also a Taurus, so I love that. I feel like personality wise I really relate to her too. Oh, I really like Paige Sikowski for YouTube inspiration, and also her Instagram is so cool. She's like so New York style, again kind of street style. I love her, and her videos, her YouTube videos are like next level. They're edited so well. See, there's so many like smaller people who I really love that I can just shout out real quick. Steph Polino, she's so cute. She's so like thrifty, and she like creates her own clothing, which is so sick. Anyone that like literally hand sews their clothing and makes clothes, like you are amazing to me. Like I think you're so cool. The New York vibes are like my vibes. Like I guess I just wish I lived in New York. Paige Lorenz, obviously. So inspired by her stuff, but also like she's so beautiful that I'm like, it like gets to me sometimes. I'm like, I'll never look like that, but like I would wear absolutely everything she wears. Yeah, so I got so many questions like, who's your style inspiration right now? What are your fashion inspirations, favorite bloggers, where I get inspo from? So all of those girls definitely, but this is constantly changing. Like I said, I'm always finding new people to follow. There's so many cool girls on Instagram. Like I can't keep up. There's so many cool people, and I'm really trying to only follow people now that their content like truly inspires me, because like I could follow so many accounts that I'm like, oh, I love your account, but like then I'd be following like 5,000 people. Quick reminder, copying isn't fucking cool. Although I take a lot of inspiration from people, I really try. Like there's a huge difference between imitation and inspiration. In the industry, you're gonna get copied. People are gonna copy you. It happens all the time. I feel like maybe I'm guilty of this too. Like I really try hard not to copy people, but I feel like you consume so much content on like a day-to-day basis that like sometimes it's like you think you created something on your own and you probably didn't. You probably saw it somewhere else subtly. So it can be really dicey, but my biggest pet peeve is being copied. And like, I don't know, you're gonna learn the hard way. People aren't gonna tolerate it, and just don't do it. Like try to be yourself. Someone said, how would you describe your style in 3 words? And I struggle with this so much. Like I've been really torn on wanting to like put more of like an identity in my Instagram bio, just so that when like brands see my profile, they can be like, oh, I know this is like what she's about. She'd really align well with our style. But I don't even know how you would describe my style. Let me know how you would describe my style. I'm really curious from like an outside perspective, but I guess if I had to choose, I would definitely say like funky and like colorful. I love patterns, I love colors, and I guess maybe like universal. Like I said, I don't tie myself down to one aesthetic. I feel like I try to pull off a range of clothing, because sometimes I'm in a girlier mood, sometimes I want to look like a boy. Someone said, fall fashion trend you're most excited for. Dickies. I love those pants so much. I really need to get a pair, but like I've been seeing so many people rocking them, and I feel like they're so true to my style, and I really want to go to Walmart and get a pair so bad. So I really like Dickies. Obviously all the same trends that were in last year. Loafers, obsessed. Loafers with socks, a little schoolgirl look. Definitely love the Prada loafers, but there's so many good dupes out there. I really don't think it's necessary to get the Prada loafers. I have mine from like Zara. Let's see what else. Trench coats, puffer coats, trucker hats into fall. I love trucker hats for summer, still love trucker hats. I want to get some new pairs of Jordans for sure. I do like New Balances. I don't have a pair yet. I don't know if I'm going to cop a pair, but like I do like the look of the New Balances. Oh, slides with socks, whether it be Yeezy slides or like Birkenstocks with stocks. I definitely be rocking those well into the winter. It's like baggy comfortness, like layers, bagginess, tomboyish looks, blazers, and pops of colors. Those are all fall trends, like pops of colors, whether it's a blazer, whether it's a purse. I'm so excited for fall fashion. It's my favorite season. Again, what upcoming items are you going to be adding to your fall wardrobe / fall wish list? What's your must-have closet staple for fall? I feel like I answered that. Must-have is a trench coat. I already posted that on my Instagram, but must-have is definitely a trench coat. I feel like those will never go out of style, or Doc Martens, which is so basic, but I get the most use out of my Doc Martens. I think everyone should just have a pair, whether it's like the cliche Jaden platform ones that I have, or like any of them, any of the different styles. I think they're so durable, so they're so functional, they'll never go out of style, and they're also just cute and chunky. You can wear it with like any outfit. Now we're gonna go into some more like lifestyle questions. There was a lot of questions like, how do you stay balanced in life? What helps you stay motivated? For me this year, I feel like I've grown a lot as a person. I feel like I used to be really like people pleasing, caring what people think about me, feeling like I needed to maintain friendships that weren't serving me. And like now it's like I kind of know my worth. Honestly, like Instagram and YouTube has built my confidence up so much. I've been like the most confident I've ever felt in my life, which is like crazy because I really used to be so insecure. I just always like would talk down to myself, and I still do. I still have times where I definitely get in these funks of like talking down to myself and like not knowing my worth and like being just like really hard on myself. But I think this year I'm just really learning like what I want to attract, what energy I want to keep in my life, because it's exhausting. It's exhausting keeping up with relationships that aren't serving you. It's exhausting being surrounded by people who like don't understand you or don't have the same goals as you. And to be honest, I feel my most motivated when my energy is right. So I've just been like cutting ties with things that like don't serve me anymore, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, like something I was doing, a job. You have complete control over your life, who you let into it, what you do. You could like not wake up tomorrow, which sounds so dark, but like you have one life. Do what makes you happy. And when I cut those things out, it makes room for like new, more positive things to grow in my life. So leave room for what works for you. And sometimes you got to be selfish, but it is what it is, and the right people will stay in your life. And in turn, you're gonna be motivated when you're surrounded by those good people and those good positive things in your life. And have you lived in Boston your whole life? So I grew up in Connecticut. I lived in Connecticut my whole life, to UConn, went to grad school there, and all my life I've wanted to escape Connecticut. So I came to Boston right after I graduated with my master's degree. And I still want to leave. Like I've been in Boston for 3 years. I love it. Like Boston's a great city. It's so homey, but I've definitely outgrown it. I don't like it the same way anymore. And I really want to move on and explore different things. So I'm trying to move. What state would you love to live in? There is only 2 places I want to live in the United States at the moment. And that is New York City, or even like Brooklyn, Williamsburg area, or California, LA, or even like San Diego. But I want to experience the West Coast for sure. His family's from England, so I even kind of want to like venture out. I would live a couple years somewhere like in Europe or something. Favorite weekend activities. Favorite weekend activities. I love this. So like I said, now that I'm really back full swing working, my weekends are dedicated to content creation. So I'm not like doing too much on the weekends other than that, but I love to eat. Me and Ryan are constantly going out to eat to restaurants. That's just like, that's what keeps me sane. Food keeps me sane. Like during the week I eat healthy, I buy healthy groceries, I make my own meals, but then like we go out to eat so much. We're always trying new restaurants. So that is definitely an activity I like. Bike riding. Me and Ryan will rent the city bikes and just like go on bike rides all throughout Boston. It's so fun. I love being outside, hiking. Any excuse I can to be outside. In the winter I snowboard, so I love snowboarding. What else do I do? Yoga. Oh, yoga. I love core power. If you've never done core power yoga, that's like my favorite yoga. Yoga Sculpt is like an insane workout, but it's also just like good for my mind. I always feel like healed when I go there. Hanging out with my dog, for sure. Hanging out with friends, shopping, going on runs. Drinking. I do drink socially, and I'll go out with friends and like have drinks at bars and stuff. That's fun to me. Listening to music. I love just going on like music walks, blasting music, taking walks at night during the day, being around good people, good vibes outside. One thing most people don't know about me. This is really hard for me to answer. I think just like my true personality. Like I feel like I'm very genuine. Like I feel like I'm very natural in front of the camera. Like what I'm saying right now is like me. But also I feel like around my friends, I'm really weird. I'm like a really goofy, weird person. And that side of me doesn't come off on camera because I feel like certain people bring that out of me. Like when I'm by myself, I'm not just gonna be like a weirdo. But like when I'm with my friends, I'm like so like, I don't know, I have a weird sense of humor. I'm just like fun. I'm like really like fun person. Like I'm really easygoing. I'm really chill. Someone said fave acne treatment or acne mask if I use any. So I'm trying to think. I don't really use anything specific. If I have acne, I'll like stop wearing makeup for like a couple days because I feel like whenever I wear makeup, it just makes it worse or it like triggers it to come on. So I'll like stop wearing makeup. Straight up like benzoyl peroxide helps my acne like a spot treatment. What's your favorite animal? I'm a huge animal lover. I love animals. This is my favorite animal, my Otto, but also an elephant. I love elephants. They're so empathetic. They're like the sweetest creatures in the world and they think humans are cute. Like what? I love them. That like makes me want to cry. I love elephants. Favorite place I've ever traveled, Oahu, Hawaii, no questions. I mean, I've only been to Oahu. I'm sure all the islands are beautiful, but Hawaii is insane. This is my favorite question. What part about your zodiac sign do you relate / feel is most true to you? So I was born on May 13th, Friday the 13th. I've talked about that before. It's my good luck day. I am a Taurus. So I feel really strongly about my own personal zodiac sign. Like I'm not like this insane into astrology person, but I love being a Taurus. So some traits, I feel like I relate 1000% to it, like everything about it, but I'll just talk about little things that I feel like are very true to me. Number one, aversion to change. I hate change. I like being in my comfort zone when I know what's happening. I get really bad anxiety when it comes to change. So that is 100% me. Oh, my love for like work perfectionism and like we're very hardworking and we're dependable. Like if I have something in my mind, I'm gonna get it done no matter what it takes, and I won't stop until I get it done. Like I cannot take breaks. I don't know how to rest. I had no idea. So most common trait of a Taurus is that we're stubborn. 100%. I'm so stubborn. Not asking for help. Like I don't like to ask for help. I like to do things on my own. I'm very independent, and yeah, that's also me. We're gonna end it on this last question, and because my phone's dying, how did you and Boo meet? So if you don't know, my boyfriend Ryan, who's in most of my videos because we live together, we have been dating for like 5 years now, which is so long. I cannot believe it's been that long. Our relationship, it's so special to me, and I'm like so thankful for how it happened. He was my absolute best guy friend in college. Like we were friends for maybe like 4 years first before ever dating, and I never thought of him like that. Like he was always just my best guy friend. Like he was like a brother to me. He went to a different college and played basketball, and then he ended up transferring to UConn where I went, and we met. We like were introduced by like a friend of a friend. We always had this like connection. We were so close. Like we always had this like very special relationship, but I always was just like, oh my God, we're just so close. Like he's like my brother. Like we just get along so well. We just honestly like get each other. Like he is the guy version of me. And after we graduated, I think that's when we both like started realizing like, holy shit, like we're gonna be away from each other. Like we're gonna be like getting jobs, we could be moving across the country. Like he got a job offer across the country, and I started crying. And that's when I really was like, wait, why do I care so much? Like I feel like I need him in my life. I cannot imagine him in my life. And I'm like, if we were just like friends, would I really like be like this upset? Just like figured our shit out, and we were like, damn, this is like not like a friendship. Like we like are like soulmates. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched this full thing, I know it's a lot, but I hope I answered your questions. It truly means the world to me, and that in itself keeps me motivated, just knowing that there's people out there viewing, watching, and liking my content. Like it's just crazy to me. So thank you so much for your support. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.